We've got whole new clones in the territory battles. We've got Jedi we've never seen before, new abilities, portrait reworks. I don't even know what's going on, but just seeing the enemy list, I'm kind of freaking out right now. What's going on, everybody? We got the Separatist Might event in the Guild events finally, and we get a pretty nice summary of everything that's going on here. I mean, look at that banner. That banner looks so cool! And you can see the hero units that you're gonna need. Grievous, Newt Gunray, Poggle, Dooku, and then Wat Tambor is obviously going to be used for the special mission. So we do know that we will need these 4 specific characters for special missions somewhere in the game. In fact, I've already seen it with the data mine that someone sent me. I've actually got a pretty good list of all the combat missions and requirements for that. So I'll go over that here in a moment. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the clones. Commander Cody, pretty much the exact same thing, except you're going to notice that he has an elite ability, which then causes leadership into play. And this is pretty much what they're going to be doing with all of the clones and Jedi that we're going to be fighting here, is their leadership abilities are going to be elite-only abilities. So if they're just normal characters without the elite tag, you don't have to worry about their leadership coming into play. But once you do, you have to really focus on those characters, because then they can really screw you up. Commander Cody, pretty much the exact same kit as before. The elite ability is just his leadership. Echo, he has the same kit as well, but his follow-up with the healing, with the assist chance, is only if he is elite. Fives also comes into play here, exact same kit, but his leadership veteran clone troopers actually changed here a little bit. Enemies defeated by clone trooper allies during their turn cannot be revived. Clone allies gain 65 defense, and other allies gain half that amount. I'm kind of wondering if maybe this is a hint at what we could possibly see down the road with reworks, because I'm actually going to show you guys here in a minute the clone trooper portraits in the game have officially been changed. Clone Sergeant is definitely more prominent. He has the most notable change. So some new ability here on 5s with his veteran clone trooper, and you can notice tactical awareness. It's like he has a Zeta on it, and it's the same thing for Cody. His Ghost Company Commander with a max protection and recovery when they use a basic ability, that's also his Zeta, so that's also here. Then we come down to Rex, and pretty much the exact same thing. His brother-in-arms leadership with the bonus max health and the gain turn meter with critical hits, only if he is elite. And then look at this. We have a brand new clone in this Geonosis Territory Battle, CT-411, aka Pons, who I believe actually worked with Mace Windu quite a bit, and yeah, this is a whole new clone trooper we've never seen before. But don't worry, there's also a brand new Jedi we've never seen before either. Calculated attack, deals physical damage to the target enemy, and then deals 5% more damage for each debuff on all allies. Direct orders inflicts marked on the target enemy and gains tenacity up for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded or resisted. Devastating assault, deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict speed down and crit chance down for 2 turns. And then his unique ability, some guys have all the luck, and if he comes to the game with this ability, it's going to be very interesting. When he falls below 50% health, he equalizes health with the enemy squad, limited to once per battle, and whenever an ally is inflicted with a debuff or an enemy gains a buff, Pons gains 5% turn meter. Very interesting kit here, and you know, honestly, there's a lot of buffs that you could possibly throw onto a clone team with Shock T in the mix, so that has a chance of really working well. And then Clone Sergeant, he's moving constantly, giving himself offense up, so every time he crits, he's able to give 5% turn meter to Pons. So there's some interesting synergy possibly down the road if Pons comes into the game. Then Clone Arc Trooper. So back when the ARC Trooper came into Battlefront 2, I almost went out and got the game because the ARC Trooper was there and it looked fantastic. It's a fantastic character, and I was very bummed to see that we do not have ARC Troopers in the game. But here we go, we fight against ARC Troopers here, and they are going to be tough. Basic, deals physical damage to target enemy and inflicts potency down and speed down for 2 turns. Then he has a special called Knockout, which deals damage to all enemies and dazes them for 2 turns. Safeguard, dispel all debuffs on target ally, and that ally gains Entrenched until they are defeated. And Entrenched is a new buff plus 50% defense, and deals 25% more damage for each entrenched ally when attacking, and recover 5% in health. Recover 5% health and protection at the start of turn, which cannot be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And then United Front at the start of battle, Arc Trooper and 2 other weakest allies gain Entrenched. So there you go, right away you have 3 enemies on the team with Entrenched on them. Hopefully you don't fight 2 different Arc Troopers on the same team, because the entire enemy team could get Entrenched at that point, and you're talking easily 100% bonus damage at that point. That's not going to be fun. Well, it's probably going to be fun for me as I'm getting my butt kicked, but for people who are not so much in love with clones, not going to be so much fun for them. And then while Arc Trooper is active, whenever an entrenched ally is defeated, all entrenched allies' cooldowns are reduced by 2. Clone Commander, deal physical damage to target enemy with an 8% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn, and then all allies gain crit chance up for 2 turns and 15% turn meter, and then additional 20% for each defeated ally on his Invigorate ability. Destructive Tactics, call all allies to assist, dealing 15% more damage. Why can we not get a damage bonus on Commander Cody? We have to get a damage penalty instead. If the target is defeated, dispel all debuffs on allies, grant them 50% turn meter, and its ability's cooldown is reduced by 3. I'm going to go ahead and say Clone Commander is probably a character that you're going to want to focus down really quickly, because the fact that he can do a mass assist that deals bonus damage and then can dispel all debuffs on the allies, yeah, you're going to want to... you're probably going to want to kill Clone Commander pretty quickly. But then there's this unique, which is very interesting, and while he is active, all character speed is set to 150 and cannot be changed. At the start of enemies' turns, all Clone Trooper allies gain 15% turn meter. For each active Clone Trooper ally, I cannot speak, I'm so excited. The Clone Commander deals 10% more damage while attacking. Oh man. Yeah, Clone Commander is going to be a very high priority for you to take out on the field. The fact that everyone's speed is set to the same, but the Clone Troopers are quickly gaining a lot of bonus turn meter, you gotta get rid of Clone Commander very quickly. This ability, this unique, this tough terrain ability, is going to be very deadly for you if you cannot get rid of Clone Commander. So I highly recommend that if you see a Clone Commander, you kill him, because he's gonna really mess up your day. Clone Sergeant, same kit, except look at this! He's got a Lend a Helping Hand ability, maybe something with the rework down the road. Yeah. Deal physical damage to target enemy and call target ally to assist. These attacks have plus 50% crit chance, and Clone Sergeant and the target ally gain crit damage up for 2 turns. Yeah, Clone Sergeant already has a high base crit chance already thanks to his unique, so the fact that he's finally getting crit damage up and offense up at the same time, that's pretty significant. Clone Sergeant's going to be a bit of a monster on the field if he gets these buffs, and maybe down the road he can get crit damage up too. Fingers crossed. CG, if you're watching this, please Clone Trooper rework. Can't say it enough. Clone Sharpshooter, a new character here. Deal physical damage to target enemy with its basic and cannot be evaded by debuff targets. Dial in, inflict armor shred on target enemy, which cannot be resisted. If the target already has armor shred, expose them 3 times for 2 turns, and then Clone Sharpshooter attacks using his basic ability. Yeah, Clone Sergeant's gonna be a one-shot character if you're not careful as well. Advanced Recon, expose all enemies for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded, and then Sharpshooter stealths for 3 turns. And then I cannot speak. Advantageous positioning when Clone Sharpshooter uses basic ability while stealth, dispels his stealth, and deals 75% more damage until the end of the turn. Yeah, pretty much if he's stealthed and he uses Dial In, he's then going to deal a bonus damage with his basic, and yeah, pretty much he's going to one-shot characters if you cannot get rid of him. So B2 or some character you can use to constantly dispel buffs on the enemy team, that's probably going to be something you need to use here, because if Sharpshooter goes into stealth and you let him stay there and you don't get rid of him, he's going to one-shot characters on your team pretty quickly. So this is another character I would say is high on the priority list of characters you have to take out. Clone Trooper, Clone Lieutenant, and Clone Captain. They all get the same mechanics here: Wounding Shot, Clone Valor, and Defensive Tactics. You know, basic stuff here: inflict damage over time on the basic, gain taunt and defense up for 3 turns, retribution for 2 turns, and then while this clone is buffed, he recovers protection equal to the damage he deals with his basic ability. Nothing here that's really egregious, but the fact there is a taunt here, that is something you're probably going to want to dispel, because he's probably going to block you from getting rid of someone like Clone Commander or the Clone Sharpshooter. And then Clone Trooper Medic, maybe we can get a Clone Trooper Medic down the road. Physical damage on the basic, and then inflict offense down. If the target already had offense down, call an ally to assist, dealing 25% more damage. Aided recovery, equalize all allies' health, and then heal them for 15% of their max protection. Then Clone Trooper Medic stealths for 2 turns. Daring Sacrifice, revive a random ally with 50% health. We have a revive here with clones. You're probably going to put him high up on the list too, because we know from other TVs that we've fought, reviving characters are usually something that you want to get rid of, because once a character's dead, you'd like it to stay dead. You don't want someone like Clone Commander or Sharpshooter coming back. So Medic probably also going to be high up on the priority list as well. And then when another ally drops below 100% or 50% health, he gains 25% turn meter doubled while stealthed. So yeah, Clone Medic probably going to be very high on the list as well. General Kenobi, we already know his kit. His leadership obviously is going to be elite, for elite version only. Grandmaster Yoda, exact same kit, except his leadership is elite only. And here we go, Ki-Adi-Mundi. This is the new Jedi, and he looks pretty good. It'll be interesting to see if we actually get him in the game. His basic attack is Resolute Smite, deal physical damage to the target enemy and inflict defense down for 2 turns. Overcome weakness, physical damage to the target enemy. If that target enemy is debuffed, his attack deals double damage, and he recovers protection equal to the amount of damage dealt to the enemy. Meditation, gain offense up, tenacity up, crit damage up, and retribution for 2 turns. And for each debuffed enemy, Ki-Adi-Mundi gains 15% turn meter. And then his elite ability, No Such Thing as Luck, which looks like to be an unique ability. Ki-Adi-Mundi's attacks cannot be countered, and when attacking out of turn, he always critically hits. Yeah, I want him in the game. I want him on my Galactic Republic squad right now, CG. Give me Ki-Adi-Mundi. I want him. And then we get to the new Clone Starfighter, V19 Torrent Starfighter. Yeah, this has a lot of target lock synergy, so maybe down the road this could come into play with the Negotiator or Endurance in the fleet meta. We'll see. But very strong against target locked enemies, and the Negotiator and Endurance both have a lot of target lock synergy and can inflict a lot of target lock as it is. So I expect that maybe down the road, if we get some new ships, we will more than likely see the V19 Torrent Starfighter become a possible ship down the road. Clone Sergeant's ARC's 170, Jedi Consular's Starfighter, Plo Koon, Rex's ARC 170, Umbarn Starfighter. Pretty much all ships we've seen before, though I don't see Anakin Starfighter on here anywhere, so maybe we don't have to fight Anakin Starfighter. I highly doubt that, though. We will see. Now, in terms of the combat missions, big shout out to Dorian Blade, who sent me this earlier, and this is pretty much what to expect in each phase of the fight. Phase 1, the enemies are Gear 12, level 86 to 93. You have 4 combat missions and 1 special mission in Phase 1. In Group 1, you have 2 combat missions. You have to use Poggle, Sunfac, and Soldier in that combat mission. They have to be 6 stars. And then the other combat mission is Dark Side. And then Group 2, Dark Side and Dark Side again. And then there's a special mission for Separatists where you're required to use Newt, B1, B2, and Droideka all together with a minimum power requirement of 16.5k. So this is starting to figure out why we were not seeing Geonosis so much and why we only saw Separatists in just Phase 2 platoons. Because we're actually going to be using a lot of Separatists for special missions in here and a lot of Geonosis as well. In Phase 2, enemies are Gear 12, a little bit higher power level with 89 to 94. Group 1 is ships, Dark Side 6-star, and then a special mission, Dark Side, something about Self-Tac Capital Star Destroyer. Not sure who this is referring to yet. 6 stars as well. Doesn't seem to be any kind of character requirements there. But then Group 2, you have 2 combat missions, any Dark Side teams, and a special mission requiring Dooku and Asajj, both at 6 stars, 16.5k and only these 2 units are used. So I'm wondering if you're going to be fighting against some kind of Jedi team there. And then in Group 3, 2 more dark side special combat missions, and then a special mission requiring Geonosians. Again, the power requirement, only need 1 unit to enter, but can have up to 5, which I think is probably not going to be the Wat Tambor mission. I think that may be in Phase 3 where you're going to need the Brood Alpha, but it'll be interesting to see what the special mission is going to be that requires Geonosians. And then also you can see that there's no Separatist required combat missions here, which is why they're thrown into platoons so much. In Phase 3, Gear 12 enemies, level 90 to 94. Group 1 is ships, combat mission Dark Side, and then a special mission Dark Side with an Empire commander for both fights, which is obvious because you have Tarkin and Thrawn as the only Dark Side capital ships, so nothing there that's really special or really surprising. And then for the special mission, you have to use all 3 Geonosian ships at 7 stars. And then for your combat missions, you have a Dark Side 7-star, and then a Separatist droid affiliation for another combat mission 7-star. So obviously you only have 5 of those with Grievous, B1, B2, Magna Guard, and Droideka. Gonna have to use those 5. And then a special mission with your Geonosians requiring you Brood Alpha. I believe this is going to be the Wat Tambor Shard mission because it requires Brood Alpha, and they have sent a forum post that you'll need Brood Alpha for that mission. And then another 2 Dark Side combat missions, no required factions there, just at 7 stars. And then Phase 4, where crap hits the fan, enemies are Gear 13, level 93 to 95, Dark Side combat mission, and then a special mission Dark Side. Nothing really specific there. Several more combat missions of Dark Side, no required factions there. Then you have 2 special missions here, both requiring Separatist. One requires Dooku, and one requires Wat Tambor. That Wat Tambor one is probably going to be a special mission that gives a lot of bonus guild event tokens. So do expect that going into this, that you're going to need Wat for one of those, and you're going to need Dooku for the other one. So if you guys haven't worked on Count Dooku yet, probably a good time to go ahead and start working on him now. So that is gonna be it, guys. A lot of stuff to break down here with the enemies and the missions. I'm working on a prep guide for this, but overall, just want to cover all this and just go over this looks like it's going to be crazy hard, and I look at the abilities on these clones and the Jedi. I expect this to kick our butts for several months to come. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about this Geonosis Territory Battle? I'm super excited. Are you guys super excited? As always, guys, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I will talk to you guys later.